Hey guys, welcome to another edition of K Cards Baseball. Thanks for joining me on this fine Sunday afternoon, wherever you might be. There's a little more light in the room today. I'm doing this video in the middle of the afternoon. Rather than at night like I normally do, I have to actually fly out to Dallas in the morning. So don't know what videos are going to look like this week. I thought I would make this one before I left and upload it and put it out there on the channel while I'm there. But we'll have to see how the videos work out the rest of the week. So we got some cool things to talk about today on the channel. Yesterday, Trenton and I had a chance to attend the Minnesota Sportscard show. It is a monthly show that they have. The very first video, one of the very first videos I ever did when I started the channel back in the end of October, was actually at the Minnesota Sports Card Show. I think it was like the end of October, beginning part of November. So that was one of the very first videos I ever did. If you want to go back and take a look at that video, it's kind of come a long way since then. And then I made one at the last sports card show I attended, the end of January. That was more of a video of me, actually looking through boxes and talking to different dealers and that type of thing. And Trenton talking to a dealer, trying to swing a deal on a card. Didn't have a chance to make that kind of video yesterday. I thought about it and I was pretty disappointed that I didn't get a chance to because it was just crowded and chaotic, and all the tables were really, really busy, and and the dealers were really busy, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time bothering the dealers with me trying to make a video, and it would have just been not conducive at all for me to do that. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that while I was there. However, that being said, I do have a couple little clips that that I did while I was there. And afterwards, one is with Trenton. He pulled a really cool CJ Stroud card that I'm going to share with you guys. He got it out of a blaster box that he bought at Target. A crazy card. He brought it to the card show yesterday, and that's one part I wish I would have done yesterday. He brought it to the Real Sports Cards booth and had them take a look at the card and kind of give him appraisal about whether or not to send it off to PSA for grading and what kind of grade he can expect on the card. So stick around for that. That's a really cool piece of the video. I'm also going to show you guys some cards that I was able to purchase yesterday at the card show. I didn't go crazy spending a lot of money because, quite frankly, I couldn't find a lot of the type of cards that I wanted. So that kind of got me thinking about what would be good strategies for me to roll out to you guys and share with you guys about the strategies that I use when I attend card shows and the mindset that I go into the card show at. Everybody's got their own strategy, their own stuff they're looking for while they're there. Everybody's a little bit different. Some guys might be just looking vintage. Some guys might be looking just for the big hits. Those number parallels and the mojos and a particular sport or that type of thing. So everybody's got their own strategy, but I thought I'd share with you guys my strategy when I attend sports card shows. So what I did is I basically wrote down, I think, 9 different strategies that I was thought of as I was thinking about it, and I will share with you guys each one of those 9 strategies. And afterwards, you guys can let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I would like to hear your guys' thoughts about attending sports card shows and your strategies that you guys use. Because like I said, everybody's got their own thing when they attend sports card shows. And they get crazier and crazier every one I attend. So we'll talk a little bit about that possibly at the end. Some of the money that people throw around is just as unbelievable to me. So anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into these 9 strategies and again, tell me what you guys think. First up is bring only as much money as you are willing to spend. For example, yesterday at the card show, I've been trying to save up money, not just for this card show, but we've got a big card show in the middle of April, and a lot of the national dealers will be coming into that card show. It is a 4-day card show. I think it's like April 18th through the 21st. So that's the card show that I'm really targeting. It is our biggest one that we have here in the state of Minnesota during the year. It is our like mini national. There's like 450 tables, and a lot of the big players come in to sign autographs and that type of thing. So I'm really trying to focus more on that card show than the regular monthly show. And quite frankly, a lot of the dealers that were there yesterday at the card show are ones that have been there every month that they've had the card show. So I've seen a lot of their product before, so I kind of knew basically what to expect while I was there. So I went in the mindset, like I said, of I just went there basically with $100, and that was my max that I was willing to spend. So, like I said, have a strategy as far as how much money you're willing to spend at the card show, and stick to that basic strategy. Strategy number two is stay within your budget. So, like I said, I walked in with $100, and that was the max that I was willing to spend yesterday on cards. And I pretty much stayed within that. I think I actually spent like $30 or $35, so it wasn't very much money. Um, they didn't have a lot, like I said, they didn't have a lot of stuff, or not a lot of people had things that I was really looking for. And that leads into my next strategy is to basically have a plan and stick to it. So yesterday when I was at the card show, I was just primarily looking for the rookie cards that we talked about during the video that I put out last week of the top 25 prospects that are might possibly be called up at the beginning part of the season, that are rookie cards for under $5. So those are the cards that I was primarily targeting. I kind of thought in the back of my mind that maybe I'll look at some vintage stuff, but quite honestly, the 2 or 3 vintage boosts that were there really were incredibly overpriced for what I thought the product was that they had, and stuff that was in their dollar bins were not in very good condition. So I didn't want to venture down the vintage rabbit hole. Yesterday, for example, I was at one booth, and they had 2 or 3 boxes of 2018 update series 2, or update series, with the Shohei Otanis and the Ronald Acuna's in them, and they were selling those boxes for $450, and it was pretty hard to walk away from it, because I think that that's a pretty decent price for that, but I didn't have that kind of cash to spend. And I'm sorry, that's strategy number 2 and 3. Strategy number 4, the first thing I do when I walk in the door, before I go ahead and buy anything, is that I'll take a lap around basically the whole show, kind of get a overview of what dealers have. With an eye looking at those cards that I'm trying to find, looking at the product that I'm trying to find, and trying to find those dealers that have the cards that I would be interested in picking up. So again, I walk around the entire show. I'm just trying to get a feel for what every dealer has, and trying to pick out those dealers that I might be interested in spending some time at their booth and looking through their cards and looking through the product that they have, those dealers that have the items that I'm looking for on that particular day and at that particular show. So when I'm doing that first lap around the show and looking at various dealers and trying to get a feel for an overall feel for the card show and what people have, I'm not really looking at prices. I'm not, I might look at a booth and try and get an idea as far as what that dealer's pricing basically is for the cards that I'm looking for, but I'm not doing a deep dive into the booth and start rifling through cards and looking at stuff. I want to do that basically once I get an idea about what dealers at the show are going to have what I'm looking for. So once I've identified those booths that are, that I want to spend some time at, then I will start doing that. I will, pick out the 4 or 5 dealers that I want to. Yesterday was 110 tables. So I think after I did my lap around, I think there was a total of 5 booths that I was really interested in spending time at. There wasn't really that much guys doing baseball there, to be honest. There was a lot of football and a lot of basketball and a fair amount of Pokemon stuff, to be honest. And those booths that did have basketball and football, We're all pretty crowded, and mainly with younger kids. It seems like the younger generation is really into the football and basketball stuff, not so much into baseball. So you got a lot of the older guys digging through baseball cards, and a lot of the younger kids, the 13 to 15-year-olds, rifling through boxes and boxes of football and basketball. So yesterday, most of the cards I wanted to look at were mostly into the boxes. So, your dealers always have their display cases, and then they've got boxes of cards usually of bulk product that they want to sell. They have dollar boxes. They have sometimes they'll have a $5 box or $10 box, or they might have a hodgepodge in one particular box. So that's what I was spending most of my time looking through. Because again, like I said at the beginning, I was looking basically for top prospects that are possibly going to be called up at the beginning of the year, and trying to get a feel for those particular cards and those particular prices, and seeing if the dealers had the cards that I was looking for. So number 5 on my list, I did want to kind of throw this out there, even though yesterday I really didn't have to, but I actually did on a couple of cards that I was interested in buying, is that don't be afraid to check your comps when you're at a booth. You have to, especially if you're spending a fair amount of money on a card. I would say if you're spending more than $20 or $25 on a card, I would go ahead and check your eBay, Market Movers, whatever app that you guys use, to check your comps and see if what the trend is on the card and what the value of the card is. Have a good idea what you want to spend on a card if you're looking at one particular card. For example, yesterday my son was looking at Caleb Williams cards. That is the card that he was primarily targeting, and he found like 4 or 5 different ones and visited those dealers, and found the one that was able to give him the best price. And I'll share that card with you here at the end of the show, or at the end of this video, and let you know what he ended up working out a deal for that particular card. What I do when I generally am negotiating on a card, negotiating with a dealer, if I find cards that I'm interested in purchasing, is I stick to pretty much what I call the 80% rule. So I basically will offer 80% of whatever sticker price that they have on that card, and that I'll look at the comp on the card and see what the card is currently selling at, and which I consider to be the fair market price for the card, and then I'll offer basically 80% of whatever that value is. And if they are a good dealer, they understand that they'll still make a decent price at 80%, and it depends upon the value of the card. That's always a good rule of thumb to stick to, is the 80% rule. And 9 times out of 10, dealers will go ahead and let you buy a card for 80% of whatever the list price is that they have on that card. Like I said, sometimes they will raise the prices above comps, knowing that they're going to have to negotiate the price, but don't be afraid to do that. If for some reason the dealer isn't willing to work with you as far as the prices, and honestly, I don't really care much about what the value is of whatever you're buying. For example, yesterday I was looking through boxes of cards, and I picked out 3 or 4 cards, and I think the total was like $23 or $24, and I offered the guy 20, and he went ahead and took it. But if he didn't take the 20, would I have walked away from the deal? Maybe not, but it's not really worth walking away for $4, because I knew I was getting a good price on some of the cards that I had picked out. But again, don't be afraid to negotiate prices on, even if it's a $5 deal. I mean, I picked out cards that, in a dollar bin. I picked up 5 or 6 cards out of a dollar bin, offered the guy $5, and that was pretty much the end of it. So again, when you're negotiating with dealers, it doesn't matter really what the cost is. Don't be afraid to work out a little bit of a better price when it comes to that. But when it comes to dealing, when it comes to working with dealers, one thing to always remember is don't be disrespectful. I've seen that happen where it turns into an argument between a buyer and a seller, the dealer and the guy that's he's negotiating with, and I've seen it get rather heated. And it usually is quite often where the person that wants to buy, or the buyer of the card, is really trying to lowball the dealer quite significantly, basically offering them half the price for the card or half the price of whatever they're interested in buying. Well, no dealer's going to take a loss on money, take a loss on a card or anything that they're selling. So be very respectful when you're dealing with the dealers. Remember that we're all kind of in this together, whether you're a dealer or whether you're a buyer, because there's going to be situations where you're selling items and you'll be in negotiation and someone might lowball you, and you're going to feel very disrespected. So respect is very important within not only in card shows but in the industry in general. Have respect for not only the dealers you're dealing with but other buyers that you're dealing with. Give them room. Don't butt in on their negotiation and look at them kind of weird. Let their negotiation happen between them and the dealer. If they're two guys that are on the side just working out a deal, quite often I'll stand back because I'm quite fascinated on deals. So I'll stand back and kind of watch deals happen and watch what the how the interaction goes, because that's something I'm very interested in, and I'm also interested in seeing what kind of prices a lot of cards are selling for. Yesterday, for example, at the show, Connor Bedard was the hot card yesterday at the show. Connor Bedard Young Guns. I saw. I was at the Real Sports Card booth, and there was probably two or three guys that walked up with that card, and it was the guy. One guy wanted like $1,500 for the Young Guns card, but the comps on it were basically around 800 at the time on eBay, and I think the Real Sports Card guys were offering like 600 to 650. The deal didn't go down or whatever, but that was kind of the hot card yesterday at the show. And everybody was talking about Connor Bedard Young Guns cards. Pretty cool card, but it's at its peak value right now. I don't know that I would be spending that kind of money on a Connor Bedard because right now when that product first comes out and he's the hot player, I'd rather let things play out a little bit before I start offering that kind of money, but that's me. Always go into the deal with a figure in mind or what you want to get out of the deal. So, like I said, if I'm looking at a card and I know what my bottom line price is, and if I don't get to that bottom line price, I don't have any problem walking away from it because there's a dealer two or three tables down that will most likely be willing to give me the deal that I'm looking for. So don't be afraid to walk away. Don't just take a deal because of whatever reason, because you just get fed up with it or whatever the situation is, and someone might be not offering you the price that you're looking for on a card, and don't be afraid to walk away because the dealer two or three tables down might very well be willing to spend whatever you want to, the price that you're looking for on a card, or you might be able to buy a card from that dealer two or three tables down, the exact same card for the price that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to walk away. There always is a better deal out there. Final thing I'll say is sometimes, and one thing to always keep in mind, is sometimes later on in the show, like yesterday, I think the show was 9 to 4. If you are walking around there at around 2:30 or 3 o'clock towards the end of the show, if you're talking a multi-day show where you're talking 3 or 4 days, for example, the show coming up in April, the deals that you were looking for on Thursday, you might not be able to get on the first day of the show, but you might get on the last day of the show when dealers are, they don't want to haul their cards around or load them up or whatever. So you might get better deals on the last day or towards the end of the show than you are at the beginning of the show. So that's why generally I'll attend shows on the last day of the show rather than the first day, because the first day, dealers and people aren't so willing to negotiate on price because they fully think that they got 2 or 3 more days left of the show to go, and they'll be able to get a better price down the line. But when you're talking the last day, dealers might be willing to cut deals a little bit more liberally, and it might be easier for you to get the kind of price that you're looking for on the cards that you're looking for. So keep that in mind. So that's what I got for you. That's kind of the 9 tips that I use when I'm attending card shows. Again, throw your opinions down below, and I would be very interested in what you guys do and the strategies that you guys employ when you guys are attending card shows. So what I'm going to do is flip back to the desk here. We'll kind of go over the 6 or 7 cards that I was able to purchase yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about each one. And at the end, I will show you the cards that Trenton picked up and that CJ Stroud card that he got out of a blaster box, because that is really a pretty awesome card. So anyways, guys, hang on 1 second and we will be back to the table. Okay, guys, the first card I got up here is this MD Rodriguez. This one is numbered 91 out of 250. So it's not a Bowman first, but it is a 2021 of him, his Bowman card. So that is the first card I got. It was in a dollar bin, so I paid $1 for this card. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, and ND is a pretty good prospect, so I thought I'd pick that card up. Just looking at the comps for this card, as you can see here, it's at $5 for this one. So paying $1 for it, I didn't think was not too bad of a deal. The next card up is Henry Davis. I'm not considered one of the top prospects right now, but he is just having an amazing spring training, and I think that he's going to be have a really good year and a really good chance of being the National League Rookie of the Year. So I thought this was a good deal for $1. His Bowman first card, Chrome. So that is what I picked up. As I can see here in the comps, this card's going for $6, $8. As you can see here, here's one for $5.52. I think that's a refractor. Mine's not a refractor. Here's one for $4. So pretty good deal at $1 right now. I think that down the road I could, if I get it graded or whatever, the graded cards are going for about 30 to 40. So this might be a good card for that. I thought it was in pretty good shape, so that is why I picked up that card. Next up is the number 21 prospect, Noelvi Marte, for the Seattle Mariners. I thought this was a really good card. This is his Bowman first Chrome card. Again, I got this card for $1 out of the dollar bin. Noelvi is currently listed as a 21st prospect with the Cincinnati Reds. So I thought this was a pretty good card. This is back when he was with the Mariners. Anyways, looking at the comps on this card, you can see it is going for between $9 and $10. So out of a dollar bin for me to get that card, there's one for $5 or $6. And the gradeds are going for right around $30 to $40 again. So to get this one out of a dollar bin, and it was a really good card. So I thought that was a really good pickup on Noelvi Marte. And the next card is Marcelo Meyer. This is just his base paper, Bowman first paper card. So again, out of the dollar bin, the card's going for, I would say $3 to $5. There's one for $3 or $4. Here's another one for $2. Here's one that's graded, PSA 10 for $28. The raw card, as you can see, is around $4. But again, out of a dollar bin, that isn't a bad deal. So I did spend money out of a dollar bin. So sometimes if you look through dollar bins or dollar boxes, you can find some really good deals. Don't be afraid to look through those dollar boxes. I know some guys think, well, I don't want to buy cards for $1, but if I'm getting a top 25 prospect for $1, when I can turn around and sell it on eBay the next day for $4, I know that's a really small deal, but that is pretty good profit at a pretty small deal. So anyways, that's my story on the dollar cards. Next up is Pete Crow Armstrong. Again, he is listed as 16th top prospect right now. It came out the other day that it's most likely that he's going to be called up right out of spring training. So I thought this was a really good deal. I got both his Bowman Chrome first and his paper first for $1 a piece. And as you can see, his Chrome is currently going for anywhere between $4 and $7 graded. Here's a PSA for 41. So if I can take a dollar card and turn it into 40, that is not a bad deal. Here's another one for $2. Here's his paper card for $1, basically the same price as what I paid. Here's another Chrome for $5. Here's a paper for $2. So again, if I can double my money, pay $1 for a card and get 2, I know it's a really small deal again, but that is not a bad deal. And I think his card is really going to take off once the guys come out of spring training because, like I said, I think that he will probably be called up right out of spring training and has a really good chance to get off to a good start. Next up is one of the players we did cover the other day, Brooks Lee, for the Twins. Now, when you're at a Minnesota card show and they're selling Twins cards, you know that you're going to pay a little bit more for those cards. So this one is not his Bowman first, but it is 2023 Bowman. It is a fuchsia, numbered 173 out of 299. So I thought that was a pretty good card. I got this card for $2 on eBay right now. There's anywhere between, there's only a couple of them that are sold on eBay. This one right here is at 5. And I think that there's another one up here that might have been a little bit less than that. Here's another one for 3. So I didn't think $2 was a bad deal for that particular card. It's in really good condition, so I would expect it could grade out pretty well. But that is the Brooks Lee. Like I said, I think that he was a feature in the Sunday paper today, and reading the article about him, I'm pretty confident that he is going to have a really good year this year for the Twins and be called up fairly early. They're trying him out at second base and third base right now. I think his most likely spot is to get, even though he's a natural shortstop, to move to second base, and I think he could come out of spring training at that position. So that is Brooks Lee and where we're at with him. The next card up is Max Clark. He is number 13 on the top 100 prospects list. I didn't really. I was looking for the guys I talked about the other day, Colson Montgomery and Colt Keith and Jackson Merrill, but I did find a Jackson Merrill. I think it was a gold speckle that was numbered to 50. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was like $47 for a Jackson Merrill card. So that was the only Jackson Merrill that I could find all day long. So that's why I kind of got away from these guys and tried to look at other players in the top 25. So again, this Max Clark, I paid I think $5 for this particular card, and it is Bowman First, 2023 Bowman First. And as you can see here, in the raw form, it's going anywhere between 3. Here's one for 7. Here's another one for 325. Another one for 325. I think that there's some other ones in here. There's one for $8.50. There's one for $6. Like I said, I think I spent $3 on that card, maybe 4. So right in the ballpark with the comps. So I thought it was a pretty good deal again. So I picked up that Bowman First card. And the last card I picked up is the guy coming out of spring training, I think, number 6 on the prospect list, which is Wyatt Langford. This is his Bowman First. The kid is, what is he? How old is he? 22. But he's just tearing it up. He's teared up every level. So I think that Wyatt Langford is going to be a super stud this year. So and if I can get his Bowman First Chrome, and I think I paid $10 for it on the comps. Let me pull up the comps for it real quick. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, I paid $10 for this card yesterday, and just looking at the comps, most of them are basically double that. So here's one for 16. Here's one for 20. Here's another one for 18. Here's another one for 21. His gradeds, here's one for almost 30 for a raw rookie card. His graded PSA 10s. This one's a refractor for 167. This is his paper burnt Bowman card, not his chrome. Oh, this is his chrome for $20. Here's one for 21. So I could turn around and sell this right now on eBay and basically double my money. I might very well do that in the raw form. Here's a refractor. It sold for 51. I don't see any gem mints on here. I don't know if this card has a hard time gem minting out. Here's one for 155 on the chrome. That one's a refractor for 155. So that, like I said, I as soon as I saw the Wyatt Langford, I had to snap that one up right away. So I didn't waste any time adding that to the pile. So I spent a total, I think, of $25 for my cards yesterday. I didn't go crazy buying a bunch of cards. I walked in with 100 to spend, but again, it wasn't a situation where I could find the cards that I really wanted and really was on the hunt for yesterday. There was only 2 or 3 dealers that had the cards I was looking for, and I didn't want to spend all day digging through dollar bins trying to find that. And I did find one dealer that had the higher end cards, which was the Wyatt Langford, the Max Clark, and the Brooks Lee. And also he had some other higher end stuff, autograph stuff, and that kind of thing. I didn't break it on any of those because they weren't quite honestly players that I was looking for. That's why I kind of walked away from those ones. Again, that's what I picked up yesterday at the card show. Again, it wasn't too much. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the card show in April, and hopefully get better deals at that card show. So, anyways, next up, like I said, a couple little videos of cards that Trenton was able to pick up at the show yesterday, and a card that he picked up out of a blaster box. So hang on for that. And also at the end, I did a video at Walmart. So I wanted to kind of show you guys that one. I might actually throw that one in on a different video entirely. Anyways, that is that. Thanks, guys, and happy collecting, and we'll talk to you guys later on. And like I said, I'm in Dallas this week, so I don't know how things are going to go. We'll have to see. Again, hit that like and subscribe if you like this video and any of the videos on the channel. Would definitely appreciate that. So if you guys can go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, would help me out a tremendous amount. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps me tremendously on the channel and provide good content for you guys. Again, if you guys have any comments about the channel in general, I would appreciate that. And that is pretty much all we got. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. Be safe out there, and happy collecting. Hey, guys, welcome back. We just left the card show. I wanted to show you a couple pickups Trenton had. First of all, I'm going to show you a card that he picked up out of a box of Absolute from Panini Absolute. This C.J. Stroud explosive card, really cool card out of a $25 blaster, and right now the comps on it, I saw one go on eBay for about $900. The comps on it are anywhere between $900 and like $1,200. So this is one we had a guy look at it from Real Sports Cards, and there's a little bit of concern with one of the corners in the top left-hand corner about whether or not it'd come back gem. So he is debating about whether or not to send this one off. But it is really a cool card, so I thought I'd show you that one. He also pulled this Bryce Young out of stained glass, out of a blaster as well at Target. And then today he bought this Caleb Williams SGC 9.5 Bowman Chrome Blue Refractor. Pretty cool card there on the blue refractor. It is numbered 168 out of 199 on the back. So obviously he got this for $100. It's marked 120. He paid $100 for it. So really cool card there on the Caleb Williams. So that is that card. So, but like I said, I'll throw a update on the cards that I picked up at the card show in a little bit, and we'll do another video about that. So see you guys, and we'll be back to you guys a little bit later.